Hello everyone, Wrathful Lion here, and I'm gonna give you guys something different today. Because I bet at this point after having... Stupid phone. I bet at this point, after seeing most of the video... Actually, all of the videos I've made, you probably think I'm an angry ass. You wouldn't be very far off, but I'm not. And just to prove it out there that that there are some things I like, this week, at least today and tomorrow, I'm going to make some videos, two in fact, of stuff I like. And what better way than with the thing that I talked about in my very first episode here on YouTube, which was video games, specifically Tomb Raider 2013. So, I'm going to tell you all my top 12 favorite video games of all time. Why top 12? Because not only do I like to go one step beyond, I like to go one step even further. And if you want to sue me for that, go ahead, because I got nothing, buddy. Okay. So, let's start with the list. I've got 11 of the 12 here, and I'll explain about number 7. So, let's start. Borderlands 2. There we go. Borderlands 2. Now, I don't really like first-person shooters. I'm more of an RPG type player. I only really can get into first-person shooters or even first-person games if there's something about it that really stands out. Now, while you can argue that Borderlands 2 doesn't really have anything that separates it from typical first-person shooter mechanics, you wouldn't be far off. But the thing that I love about Borderlands 2 is the insane amount of guns in it. Oh my god, there are so many freaking guns in this game. So many. Plus the number of guns, the story is good. Handsome Jack, I just want to punch him in the fucking face for killing Bloodwing. Oh, that reminds me. May Bloodwing rest in peace. Now that sentimentality's out of the way, let's move on. And gotta get this back on. So wait. Okay. Okay. Jeez. I should have piled these a different way. Number 11. Assassin's Creed 2. Now, Assassin's Creed has a very special place in my heart because it was the first PlayStation 3 game I ever got. And for that matter, it was one of the first M-rated games that I got. When I saw Assassin's Creed 3 for the first time, it blew my freaking mind. The graphics were so good. The visuals were so good. The blood squirting out of enemies as I slit their throats looked so real. And 2 was far better. Now, this was before Ubisoft did the whole yearly release thing that I now hate it for. The reason I probably am not going to get Black Flag until it goes down a lot in price. But 2 was great. I loved Ezio. He's one of my favorite video game characters. It takes place during my favorite historical period, the Renaissance, so it's like, what's not to love? That's all I can really say about that. Number 10, Jak 3. Now, I do love the other Jak games, Jak and Daxter games, but Jak 3 is my favorite just because of the sheer amount of stuff you have in it. You can be Dark Jak, you can be Light Jak, spoilers, you can drive cars through the desert and stuff, and it really is an open world game that really gives you a sense of just how grand the world is, and really lets you play around and experiment with your powers and stuff. Plus, the guns are cool. You know, people have always went on and on about how good Jak 3 is. It's my favorite of the trilogy. I kind of wish they'd make more that are good, because I heard there's because I've seen playthroughs for that other Jak and Daxter game, the one that came out on PSP. I don't remember what it's called right now, but yeah, I still wish there were more games. There were more Jak and Daxter games like this one, because I'd like to see more of those. Okay. Number 9, Devil May Cry 3. And before you guys ask, I think the reboot is crap. I think the new Dante looks stupid. And I think he's a twit, to be honest. but I'm never going to do a rant about it because there's no point in doing it. Everybody's already done one. I already did my rant about a reboot, so yeah. Devil May Cry 3 is the best Devil May Cry game, honestly. The Dante is cool. Virgil is fucking cool. The combat system is cool. That's the best way to describe this game. It is cool. There is really no other way to describe it other than it's cool. God, you know, maybe I should do a separate video on my feelings on Devil May Cry 3 because it's just cool. I feel like a broken record. Okay, I suck at math and Number 8, God of War 2. Now, I love God of War, period, but out of all of them, this has to be my favorite one because you've got all these magical powers from the Titans that seem like the funnest ones to use in any God of War game. You've got all the unlockable costumes like Kratos' God armor if you beat the trials, which I did. Mwah. You've got the battle with Zeus with the epic music playing in the back at the end and stuff, and it's just, jeez, everybody's already gushed about how awesome the God of War series is. I'll admit it's not a perfect franchise. I mean, it can get repetitive after a while, but God of War was my first M-rated game, so it's always had a good place in my heart. Kratos is badass. Kratos is a motherfucker. And also, if you're wondering what I think of God of War Ascension, I don't care about it. Kratos died in God of War 3 at the end. The story wrapped up quite well. I don't see the point of this prequel. I don't even know what the point of it was other than to say that they were giving character development for Kratos. No, you weren't trying to give him character development. You just wanted to make another game. Now, the game could be good. I don't know. I have no interest in playing it. Just because, for me, God of War ended. And it ended on a good note. I have no desire to play Ascension. I might someday, and if I do, great. But for me, it ended a long time ago. And I liked the ending. Now, number 7, I don't have any more. I lost it at some point. I don't remember how, but I really wish I still had it. Silent Hill 2. Now, there's the funny thing. I didn't like Silent Hill 1 that much. In fact, I don't even like the Resident Evil series that much either. But Silent Hill 2, I really liked it. It scared me. It made me, like, it was just this perfect example of fear. See, the thing is, I love psychological horrors, and Silent Hill is all about psychological horror. And it has my favorite video game villain in it, Pyramid Head, who, let's face it, is a fucking boss. I wish I had it to show you guys. I don't have it anymore, but great game. One of the best horror games I've ever played. Wow, this video's taking a while. Let's wrap this up quick, shall we? Number 6, No One Lives Forever. Now, this game was my first-person shooter, and I can pop it in anytime to the PS2 and just love it. And before you guys say something about the fact that you play as a girl character, really? I'm just joking. Okay. Great first-person shooter, great boss, Dmitry Volkov. Someone you really need to fight to understand just how awesome this game is. Number 5, Dead Space 2. Again, great horror game. It incorporates elements from Aliens and The Thing, 2 of my favorite movies. It takes place on a space station. It perfectly describes the sense of terror you would have trapped on a space station with only salvaged equipment to fight aliens with. Love it. Number 4, Dark Souls. Now, this is a game I thought I would hate when I first heard of it, but then I grew to love it, because for the longest time, video games have been too easy for me. But Dark Souls, That game kicked my ass multiple times, and it made me almost break my PS3 in anger over it. But you know what? I love it for that. I haven't played it in months because I still want to love it and be able to play it again. But I love it. It's a great game. Has a great difficulty. Has a great atmosphere to it. Has great enemies to it. And I like the crushing difficulty. It really raises the stakes in it. Makes you really try your best. And it really improves your skills as a player. Play Dark Souls. And then play another video game. I guarantee you will be even better than you were before. Number 3. Batman Arkham City. I'm a Batman fanboy. This is the best Batman game ever made. Do I really need to say more? In addition, it's Mark Hamill's last performance. Again, do I need to say more? Number 2. Red Dead Redemption. One of the best open world games I've ever played. The only good Western game to exist. In my opinion, Rockstar's greatest achievement. I want to see them make a pirate game instead of Ubisoft. And I think they could. Everybody's gushed about how perfect this game is, and that is the word I would choose to describe this game. Perfect. There is not a single thing I can find in this game that is wrong with it. Nothing. And finally, number 1, and this, some of you are going to get upset because you're going to be like, what the hell? How is that your favorite game of all time? It is my favorite game for reasons I'm about to explain to you. And believe me, when you hear my reasons, you will understand. Are you ready for this? Are you ready to see what my favorite game of all time is? Oh my god, so exciting! Oh my god! Here it is. My number 1 favorite video game of all time is Kingdom Hearts 2. I can already hear the sounds of you going, what the? Listen. As a kid, there were 2 things I loved more than anything in the world, and that was Disney and anime, specifically Dragon Ball Z. I had never played the Final Fantasy games, I'll admit, but when I saw this game advertised on TV, I saw battles with Disney characters like freaking Jack from The Nightmare Before Christmas, one of my all-time favorite movies, and I saw Simba as a summon. I knew right away, I must have this game. The first game blew my damn mind, and the second game, I played through exactly 12 times over the course of several months. Just because I had that much fun playing it. And to this day, I can pop this game in anytime and have the time of my life. There is no game better than this one, in my opinion. This game captures everything that is fun and puts it in a video game. You've got magic, you've got Disney characters, you've got high-stakes, real-time action, you've got a great storyline. Well, it was before we got Birth by Sleep, 365 Days in Kingdom Hearts 3D, and I'm really depressed now. Point is, that is my favorite video game of all time because I love everything in it. I love the enemies in it. I love the magic in it. I love the fact that you fight alongside Disney characters. Orin is in it. Do I need to gush more? So yeah, those are my top 12 favorite video games of all time. Take care, guys.